We're at a crossroads. From time to time, a section of rail needs repair, but that doesn't mean the whole line needs replacement. The same way being proud of your history doesn't mean you're stuck in the past. No, we're not stuck. We hear the whistle blowing and we're inspired. Inspired by the legacy of the people who transformed this terrain into a rail yard that supplied America with the ore needed to win world wars. We're inspired by our unshakable identity, hanging tight like David facing down Goliaths, and we're moved by stories of our community's kindness. No matter who needs help, neighbors pitch in and get the job done. Hushed and humbled are more at play than pontification, but don't for 1 second think that means Proctor is a simple small town. It was built as a company town, and it continues down the tracks of time. And this rail revival is our destination.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the Rail Yard. Ted Keevan along with the one, the only Coach Brenna for tonight's matchup featuring the 0-0 Greenway Raiders, as this is their first game of the season, and your 1-0 Proctor Rails. Coach, big win for the Rails last week as the Hawks came visiting on Wednesday. Loftus puts down 32, I believe, was what his stat line was points-wise. And a team that is looking to has done something that we talked about last year is starting to gel.
Yeah. You know, last year there was some growing pains towards the second half of the season. You could see it starting to gel together, you know, with the guys that were getting minutes. And, you know, it's great to see them come out against Hermantown the first game of the year, get a win, you know, by a fairly comfortable margin, 6-8 points, you know. That's comfortable. You know, that just builds confidence.
It was 22 was the final distance, wasn't it? I think it was 22.
I thought it was 78, whatever it was. Anyway, they beat Hermantown, which is huge because that hasn't happened in 5-6 years. You know, and it's a good confidence boost for the squad. You know, we got some younger guys that are stepping up, and I'm looking forward to this. I'm seeing a whole lot of shoe color out there tonight, though, Ted. Holy smokes.
Yeah. 100%. Hey, let's do this quick as we get ready to get started. I want to make sure we thank our students that we have working tonight. Our director-producer is Nikki Olson. Our camera is going to be Evan Langmo, and our score widget and tech guru is Haley McDonald. Thank you to our sponsors, the Reed Foundation, the Rails Endowment for Academic, Art, and Athletic Development, Irving Community Club Polling for Kids, Tamarack Building Supplies up on Highway 53 in Hermantown, Heritage Window Door, Superior, Wisconsin, Wittes Trailer Sales and Esco, Stream Dudes. For all your streaming needs, streamdudes.com. Great Lakes Office Solutions, Troy Service Center, May Street, Proctor, the Robin Barb Shaler Charitable Foundation, Audiology Concepts with 6 locations in Duluth, Grand Rapids, Forest Lake, Cambridge, Edina, and Burnsville. Yes, you can count. Nice job. And Proctor Pizza and Sub Shop on Main Street, Proctor. Thank you to all of them. Right now we're going to turn it over to in-house PA, Mr. William C., for tonight's anthem, creed, and starting lineups. We'll be back with the keys of the game right after that.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Proctor Public Schools, good evening and welcome to the Rail Yard for tonight's matchup featuring the Raiders from Greenway High School. And your very own Proctor Rails. A reminder, Proctor High School encourages positive sportsmanship and behavior at their activities. Please encourage players and coaches and respect the decisions of the game's officials. We are here to cheer for our team and the players that represent our school. We are not here to single out players from the other team and make them feel bad. Please stay classy and act like your families raised you right. At this time, we ask that you please rise and kindly remove your hats as we have a moment of reflection for our past and present military men and women serving here at home and abroad. After the moment of reflection, we will have the playing of our national anthem. The officials for tonight's game as appointed by the Minnesota State High School League are Tom O'Neill, Eric Siliendahl, and Mike Pilon. And now let's welcome tonight's starting lineups, and we will begin with the starters for the visiting Raiders. Please welcome senior number 1, Mackay McCoy. Senior number 10, Colin Robertshaw. Senior number 20, Gage Olson. Junior number 21, Stephen McGee. Senior number 24, Ty Wells. And the head coach for Greenway is James Early. And now, let's meet the starters for your Proctor Rails. Junior number 0, Wyatt Nelson. Junior number 2, Dallas Loftus. Senior number 5, Tyler Berglund. Junior number 3, number 11, John Cordero. Junior number 23, Cooper King. The head coach of the Proctor Rails is Cole Lipinski.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your starters for the game. On the side of the Raiders, you've got McCoy, Robert Shaw, Olson, McGee, and Wells. And on the side of the Rails, you've got Nelson, Loftus, Berglund. You also have Cordero and King on that start. Should be a good matchup. The big matchup you're going to look here is King versus Olson, right? No, versus McGee.
Two skinny guys.
McGee 6'10", and King giving up some distance, and with that, with the tip, they're going to pull it over and going to bring it up the floor is going to be McCoy. McCoy pushes to the right side. This is Wells down into the corner for Olson. Cross in, errant pass there intended for Wells. Picked up by the Rails. The Rails will come back the other way on the first turnover of the game. Now trying to drive into the paint, tries to get it up off the glass, and does.
Wyatt
for the first
Nelson.
points is Wyatt Nelson for 2. So the Rails going to come out and set a tone here against a team that is pretty loaded talent-wise. They got 3 quality players and a bench that helps out as well. And this is going to go inside and roll off. That shot attempted was by Gage Olson. Now back down to the far corner. This is King. Gives that up to the top side of Nelson. Going to drive into the paint again. Tries to get it up off the glass and does for 2. Nelson trying to establish himself as a force, probably to try to draw some pressure away from others.
Yeah, he's done a good job. Both offensive possessions going down the floor, attacking the hoop.
Olson for 3 to get it started for the Raiders. So 4-3 your score here in the early goings. Is going to go inside as Loftus had it go off his hand, could hang on to it. Now coming here, he crosses Berglund. Berglund now push it off to Loftus. Loftus for 3 from the very top, can't get that to fall. Good defense or offensive rebound there by King to push that back. Can't get that to fall, but now down to the hands of Robert Shaw. Robert Shaw looking for somewhere to go with it and gets it off to McGee. McGee now going to try to handle it and then does. And McCoy going to come to the top side, pushes that inside. Now off into the corner to Wells. Wells for 3, can't get that to fall. And into the waiting hands of Cordero. And a foul going to be called on the Raiders number Robert Shaw. That'll be his first, team's first.
That's a needless foul.
Needless, yeah. He totally had the board and shoved him on the way down. No reason to do that.
Yeah.
Kind of a pointless foul.
Very pointless.
So
That's how guys get hurt.
Yeah, Nelson in the corner for King. Now going to come back to the top of the key, looking for somewhere to go. Was looking for Loftus. Now pushes it over to Berglund. Berglund for a big, long Travis Carlson type 3, but unable to hit. But down with the board was Nelson. Nelson's going to put it back, and a battle at the board. And that's going to get back into the hands of the Rails. Cordero up for 2. Can't get it to fall, but there's Loftus with the board. So the Rails very aggressive on the offensive side, and bingo for Cordero. On the board for the first time tonight with a 3-point shot there.
The shot selection there in that possession, I wasn't super excited about that. It's way too many threes. Go back to what's been working, which is attacking the basket and throwing up a little bunny. You know, there's far too many threes taken there, in my opinion.
Right.
Which I'm sure Coach Lipinski will address.
Absolutely, but the positive side of that, after coming out of that foul, as Cordero tried then to get a steal and was fouled by Gage Olson. That'll be his first, and that's going to be on the line as not being able to hand it is King. The thing I did like about it compared to what we've seen in the past couple of years
is we're rebounding
on the offensive side. You've heard, go back to countless replays or replay the games from last year, and I counted many times. You can count many times where I was all over him. You know, why don't we follow a shot anymore? Why don't we get a board and things like that? And we got about 5 boards there.
Absolutely, and unfortunately we got 4 missed threes.
Absolutely. So Cooper King draws his first. Wells from the line, going in line, senior guard forward for the Raiders, and he hits the first. Wells going to try to complete the play here. I didn't see what the foul was. Did you see what it was?
Cooper clobbered him.
All right.
That's the easiest way to say it. He got clobbered.
So Wells hits them both, and now 7-5 Rails with a 2-point lead.
It was a good call by the official.
Absolutely. Nelson gives it off to King. King pushes it back out almost on a travel. Now looking for somewhere to go with it. Gives it off to Berglund. Berglund does not give up the foot. Now goes to the dribble. Goes left side, pushes it off to Cordero. Cordero down to the baseline, going to try and gives this off to Loftus, who couldn't handle it. Cordero all over the floor on making as everything out of his first start here as he can.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's like Berge just missing his second open three. I mean, he's got to shoot. He's got to keep shooting until they start dropping.
So clock will reset on the shot clock as that goes off the rim, and McCoy will try to get something moving. Now, King defensively. Cordero steps in and going to give that off.
That was a nice block.
Getting a big hand in there for the Rails. And trapped in the corner is Robert Shaw. Now he gives this off to Wells. Wells pushes it far side. Olsen drives into the paint and gets that one a drop on a soft roll.
2 points Raiders.
So tie game here, 7-all. One thing we didn't do here tonight, Chad, is we didn't welcome everybody in. Welcome to the Proctor faithful, but also welcome to the fans from Greenway that couldn't make it. We understand, and we're glad we have this medium because the roads are not great, from what I hear. I don't know. I wasn't out there, so.
I only had to drive a half a mile, so they're getting greasy.
They are getting greasy. So Wells in the far right corner now, up to McCoy. McCoy drips it around. Robert Shaw into the corner. Driving towards the basket is going to be Olsen, and he's going to basket and draw the foul. So Olsen for 2, and he'll go to the line. I don't know who the foul was on.
I believe it was on Nelson, but he's the one that grabbed him.
All right, thank you. So 2 fouls and 3 free throws is the difference here for the Raiders. Boosum into the game for the first time tonight. And Nelson will bring it up, puts it in the middle to Loftus. Loftus now looking for somewhere to go, gives it off to Boosum. Boosum looking for somewhere to go, top of the key to Cam. Cam moves left side, gives this back off to King. King looking for somewhere to go, getting that defense to move. Up off the glass, can't get it to fall. Down with a big board is McGee. McGee will come back the other way with the rest of the white jerseys of the Raiders. As getting ready to come in is Simon Wells. That one far from the corner, bad shot. That off the rim. Boosum down with it, and here comes Nelson. Nelson moves right side, and little stop pop, can't get it to fall. And again, waiting right there is McGee. McGee, the tallest player on the floor right now. I would also say the lankiest.
He is very lanky.
King down with the board after it went off the hands of Boosum. And here comes Nelson. Gave up the dribble on the turn. This is Loftus trying to back up McGee, and does, and just too hard. And that just
I think McGee got a finger on that too.
He might have got a hand on it, but it was a great move on the block there by Loftus to get McGee to move up and out of the way. And that one's going to go up and off the rim as well. So as the Rails and the Raiders trade misses.
Yeah, it started out good for both teams with stuff dropping, and it's kind of cooled right off, hasn't it?
It has, because that's what Loftus for 2. Can't get that to fall, and King going to go in there and knock that out of the hands of McGee. And so that's going to go out. Simeon Wells into the game now for the Raiders. And taking a seat is going to be Robert Shaw. As you talked about, there is an array of colors of shoes out here on the floor.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of what's going on.
And this one from the corner for Olsen. Can't get it to fall, but there on the big board is Wells. Wells pushes it back up top. That was to his brother, Wells. And foul going to be taken by Boosum. And going to the line is going to be Olsen.
Personal foul given to number 25, Anthony Busey, first foul of the game, 14th foul.
I missed a foul. this early in the game.
Well, Ted, we've been watching the action.
Yeah, we have. Actually, it's been fun. So Olsen misses the first. Now going to try to knock this one down. Olsen leading the team in points for the Raiders at this time. And he gets that one to go. And score table checking on something.
Fouls.
I'm going to guess that's what it was, but
What do you think of the new unis there, Ted?
they're old school.
They're way old school.
They're
I like
old
them.
school. I like the look. I like the
Classic green and white.
classic green and white. I was going to say I like the less flashy. I like just the easy, you know.
Yep. Boosum's got the wrong jersey on.
Yes, he does. He's supposed to be wearing number 20, and he's got 25 on.
That is a bench technical.
It is. And
That's an oopsie.
Olsen will go to the line to shoot. He missed one of two and missed is the first here on the tech.
Coach Lipinski's rocking some nice looking Jordans too. They're a nice shiny green. You can't see him now, Ted, because he's behind the bench. But when he walks over this way,
they're green and white, and he hits the.
yeah, but they're like a shiny green.
They're a leprechaun green, a Boston green.
Coach Lipinski's much too large to be a leprechaun.
Well, I didn't say he was a leprechaun. So with the tech, that'll also give the possession over to the Raiders, and the Raiders up here by 5. Wells now, or pardon me, McCoy moves right, gives up the dribble, gives it off to Ty Wells. Tied into the corner to his brother Simeon.
That's a travel.
That would have been, should have been. Oh, they're saying there was contact underneath.
No, he stuffed him right down to the floor. That was his travel.
I'm just telling you what the
I
official
know.
said. And Boosum now driving towards the paint. Now pushes back out, nowhere to go inside the Loftus. Now back to Boosum, up off the glass, and gets for 2. So Boosum says, I'll make up for the 2 I gave him, and I'll go get 2 and get it back to that 3-point lead.
Well, he should make up for more than the 2. You know, rifle off about 10. That was a nice backdoor cut.
And a big three-pointer by Olsen. So Nelson now brings it up the floor, looking somewhere to go. Now goes right, goes left, now gives it off to Loftus. Doing a nice job keeping that away. And Loftus just turns and throws that up. McGee with a board. I think Loftus needs to kind of take a breath.
Yeah, relax.
I know McGee's a big kid and does his thing. And big 3 for McGee, as I'm talking about his name, is a big kid, but you got time to square up just a little bit better and make that shot. You're a better player than that.
Yep, get him off balance, jump into him.
So good switch there defensively, and that's out from the three-pointer. So Riazzo for 3. So Cam coming in and doing his part off the bench.
That was almost
That
a
was
travel.
almost a travel as well. Wells into the corner.
Okay, that's the third one, boys. What do you say we close that out?
So Olsen running up the points here in the first half for the Raiders. Everybody was kind of thinking more about McGee, but it's been the Olsen show. And Loftus for 2. So Loftus on the board for the first time tonight. You know, Loftus had a big night last Wednesday where the Rails beat the Hawks for the first time since 2018.
Well, and I think in order for the Rails to pull one out here tonight, because we're down 7 right now, I think Loftus needs to, every chance he gets, he's got that wide open midi, he's got to take that.
Right.
He's a good enough shooter to let her rip.
Yeah, Coach King going to take a break, and so is Nelson. And into the game is going to be Olsen and Cordero for the Rails. Also, Coach Lipinski talked about how this is the first time since 2016, I believe, 2017, that the Rails started on a win.
That's good too.
So good job there and doing his thing. King pushing it back, now gets clobbered and taken by Wells. Wells looking for somebody and getting his foot in there is going to be Cam.
So who's number 42, Ted? He's not on our roster.
He's not on your rooster. I believe that is Brian Christie. I believe he got switched to 42 instead of 32.
Okay.
So Brian Christie.
He's rocking a nice mullet.
He is running the party in the back, business in the front type look. Couldn't get that to fall, and here come the Rails. Olsen drives into the paint, up and in, can't get it, but there was Cordero following, and coming back the other way is going to be Wells. And now going to slow it down. Oh, and a foul going to be drawn by Jackson Olsen. That'll be his first. Team's 5th.
Personal foul number 13, Jackson Olsen. First foul of the game, on-shooting foul.
So Boosum, King, Loftus, Cordero, and Olsen into the game for the Rails as there's a switch in that timeout or that break. Christie was going to take it, now takes the dribble, moves forward, up off the glass into the waiting hands of King, and here come the Rails.
There you go.
Big shout out to the team over at the Aspire St. Luke Sports and Event Center, as we got 6 students over there along with Mr. Roder and Mr. Gilderman doing the broadcast of the hockey game.
Well, that's why there's so many people watching the hockey game, Ted. They get to listen to Glenn and Tim.
The silky smooth. So that foul is going to go on Christie. That'll be his first, team's 3rd. And at the line shooting 2 is King, and he'll miss the first. Tyler Berglund getting ready to come back in, and he's going to take the spot of Jackson Olsen. Just over halfway here, can't get that one to fall. And coach wanted a sub, was trying to get Gavin Aho into the game, but just wasn't able to get there on that miss. So the thing that I'm noticing with the Raiders right now, coach, is that they
are out of control.
But McGee doesn't tend to go on the offensive side of the board. He doesn't play down low very much.
No, he seems to be up in the mid post. I suppose they're trying to draw Loftus out so he can attack the basket. I don't know. I guess time will tell here, but yeah, it seems weird that you wouldn't plant him in the paint and give him the ball.
Inside to Christie. Christie can't get it to fall into the waiting hands of Cordero. Now Boosum going to almost get it into the bucket, but as he tried to save it, now it's going to stay Raiders ball. Now Gavin Aho will come in as Cordero will take a seat.
Robert Shaw got away with a little bit of a push there. He probably lucky he got away with that one.
Yeah. Here's the question I have, and I'm not questioning Coach Lipinski. Cordero technically right now in the first 9 minutes of this game, you're probably your best defensive player. All over the floor defensive player.
Now let's see what else we got. I mean, I get what you're saying, but you know, if we already know that, let's give him a little blow right now, and that was a silly foul.
Foul going to be called there on McGee. That'll be his first, team 4th. I totally get what you're saying. I'm just saying that, you know, down 7 here early in a tight game, you know, defensively, that's all I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying, but I agree with what he's doing there. That makes sense to me. Let's see what Aho can do. We know that we can put Cordero back in, and we know what we're going to get out of him. You know, Berge needs to well, they're getting hammered in there.
And here comes down the floor is Wells. Wells not going to slow it down. Oh, that should have been a carry and a travel. McCoy.
Pop it.
McCoy now looking for something. Wells going to go the other side. McGee. Back to McCoy. McCoy looking for somewhere to go and going to give it off to Olsen. And Olsen can't get that one to fall, but there on the offensive board is McCoy.
Standing and watching right now defensively, Ted, when the ball's in the air.
Can't do that. McCoy twists, turns into the paint, can't get it to fall. No foul called, and down with it is King. Here comes King with the man advantage. Now McCoy jumps back. And going to be called for a foul as Simeon Wells. That'll be his first, team's 5th.
Personal foul number 0, Simeon Wells, non-shooting foul. Checking in for Greenway, number 24, Ty Wells.
Ty Wells back into the game for Simeon Wells.
That's a great sports name, too, isn't it? Ty
Simeon?
Wells.
Ty Wells?
Well, so is
I
Simeon
like
Wells.
Simeon Wells. That's just a great
So
name.
is Sumerian Wells. I mean, those
Sure.
are great sports names.
Berglund for 3. And in and out, can't get it to fall. Down with the board is Olson. Olson will bring it up the floor for the Raiders. Oh, Loftus.
Oh, that was not a good call.
Loftus going to get called for a push.
Personal foul number 2, Dallas Loftus.
He lost his footing there. Holy cow, and Loftus gets pinched for it.
16 foul.
And Mr. O'Neill is not happy with Coach Lipinski talking back to him.
He'll get over it.
He either will or he won't.
Well, now both of the big men both have a foul with 4 more to give.
Travel. That was a foul. That didn't get called. Wyatt hooked the arm. You see that? A guy doesn't spin around in the air like that without
I
a
just
little
didn't
help.
want to say something, that's all. Loftus gives it back to Berglund. Berglund now
Maybe
gonna
that was a
drive
good
into the paint, into the
a
corner
makeup
for
no
Aho.
call.
Yeah. And foul going to be called.
Man, it's going to get yucky now, huh, with fouls?
Yeah, we're been a while since we've seen fouls like this. That's going to go on Ty Wells. It's going to be his first, team 6th.
Checking in for Greenway, number 12, Jake Bildo.
Bill Doe into the game for the Raiders. His first action, a junior, Jake. Inside to Aho. Aho puts it up and in for 2. Nice end line play on that, getting that open, that nice easy open, getting between his man and the ball. And this is going to be given off to Wells. Wells to the top of the key to McGee. McGee looking for somewhere to go. Now uses a dribble. Now a long 3 off the iron. Can't get that to fall. And here's Loftus in the hands of King.
Just like that, because that's what you
want. Going to
want.
be called, absolutely. And that foul is going to be called on McGee. That'll be his 2nd, team 7th. So,
you know, Ted, just looking up and down the Rails bench this year, I don't see my favorite kind of player.
You don't see a lunchbox Pale kid there?
No, I don't see a wide body. I love the lunchbox
yeah,
guys. These are all lunchbox guys.
There's not much of a wide body on this team this year.
So my suggestion from up here where Loftus can't hear me is post it up and go after that big guy.
Absolutely. So King going to attempt the 2nd and hits that one.
But you've also noticed that Greenway hasn't scored in 5 minutes.
Yeah. But until they're just right there, neither had the Rails.
Well, I mean, it went from 9 to 17.
No, it's been 21-17 or 21-14 for quite a while.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
It's just sloppy basketball both ways right now.
Yeah. That's going to go off of Mackay and McCoy, and that goes out of bounds. And again, yeah, like you just talked about, it's just sloppy basketball.
On both sides. It's both teams that are sloppy.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. Absolutely. From us taking, 3 and 4 threes that didn't have a reason to have a 3 or 4 threes taken. Loftus for 2. That's a nice little arc there by Loftus.
Absolutely. That kid can shoot. I mean, he should have the green light to pull the trigger from anywhere on the floor.
Right. So McCoy now going to go to work for the Raiders. Gives this off. Olsen stops, looks inside to McGee, backside for a dunk.
Okay, that's a dunk.
We were talking that it would happen.
Okay.
He's going to probably get 1 or 2. He's 6'10".
It's a layup with force.
And missing the shot are the Rails, and coming back the other way is going to be McCoy.
I think Loftus has done a good job defensively on him for the first part of the first half here.
Ty Wells for 2. And we got to stop talking about how they weren't scoring, because now all of a sudden they're scoring.
Yeah.
Nelson drives in the paint, nowhere to go, gives up the dribble, now off to Cam. Cam looking left side back to Nelson.
Pop it.
Then McGee down with the defensive board. He'll give that off to Olsen, and Olsen will bring it up. Olsen off the rim, can't get it to fall. Aho there for the board. Gives that off to Nelson. Way ahead to Cam. Cam up off the glass, just too hard, and right there McGee for another board. Jackson Olsen getting ready to come back into the game. The Euro step that you love so much.
Hate it. With a passion. That we cannot allow to keep happening.
No. Nelson going to drive now. Gives this off to Aho. Aho for 3. Bingo.
Bingo.
So Aho adds 3.
It's been a very physical first half. I mean, if you're just watching, watching the action, Ted, and stuff that's not necessarily getting called that, maybe could, possibly could. I mean, they're beating on each other pretty good.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of hand checking. Olsen drives in, up off the glass, and into the rim for another 2. Olsen with 18 of the 22 for the Raiders. Cam for 2, just too much right there into the hands of King. King waiting now, a battle on the floor. And they're going to say that out of bounds was Bildo touched that, number 12, and goes out of bounds, so it's going to stay with the rails. Cordero and Olsen back in. King and Aho take a seat, take a break. And Robert Shaw, I didn't see who else came back in. Robert Shaw and I think Simeon Wells.
Jackson and Jackson Olsen for Proctor.
I got him already.
Okay.
Yep. Loftus didn't have anywhere to go with it. A little loft off. Good job by Loftus. And a big jam. So Grand Rapids up 2-0 over the Rails in the first period over at the Aspire St. Luke Sports and Event Center. That's going to go off of Robert Shaw's hands and stay with the green, and Jack Olsen will put it into play for the Rails. So about 5.5 minutes left over there in first intermission. Loftus had an opportunity without McGee there, and no foul going to be called, and that goes out of bounds. Looks like McGee's getting tired, though, and I hate to say that, and I'm not picking on him, but he's going in his hands to his hips a lot here in the ways.
I don't think he's got much of a break in the first half. I think he was over maybe, a minute and a half. Come on, Jackson.
Foul going to be called on Jackson Olsen. That'll be his second, team's 7th. So that'll take the Raiders into the bonus. And Olsen will go to the line and shoot 1-1. Olsen misses the first, and now on the defensive rebound is Cordero. Cordero driving up, looks into the paint, stops, pops, gets it to fall.
I like that kid.
So Cordero coming in off the bench, doing his job. This is to McGee down in the corner. They're going to say that McGee stepped on the line, and that'll be a turnover on the Raiders, and it'll go the way of the green.
Well, he's got really big shoes, Ted, because he's a big guy.
You got to have big feet to balance that body out. He's taller than I am, and I've got 16s. So
there's his third.
There is his third. So McGee draws his third.
And now he's going to get taken out.
And coming back in is going to be Christie. And McGee does not agree with the foul at all. Cordero takes the seat. Olsen takes the seat. And Boosum and Berglund back into the game for the Rails.
We went with our three-point lineup.
Yes. And Loftus hits the first of one of two. Sorry. He hit the first of one. He hit the first of two. And hits the second. And
that's a push-off.
And no foul call, but off the glass is Olsen for another two.
Well, that was a blatant push-off.
Can you talk for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
He's got a foul on 20 there, Gage Olsen, for being draped all over Loftus. You missed it, Ted. It was good. Now we're going to shoot more free throws. 30 seconds left. Loftus at the line for bonus. Ooh. Rims the first one out.
That was Loftus, right?
Yep. McCoy with the rebound. Almost got pushed out of bounds by one of his teammates. That's travel.
Travel going to be called. Going to come back the other way.
You know, Ted, on both sides, I'm not a fan of all of the players on both teams arguing the call with the official, even though they're not talking to the official. The official made the call. It's done. It's over with. Move on.
Yep, 100%.
Both,
Don't disagree.
it's not just one team. It's both teams.
So 12 ticks here left, first half. And the Cam gives it off to Berglund. Berglund for three. Short right into the way.
That was a pass.
Cordero. It was a pass. And they're going to say that went off of Olsen, so it's going to stay with the green jersey of the Rails. Nelson to inbound it. They have 2 ticks on the clock. Into Loftus. Loftus turns. Can't get it to fall, and there is the horn. 26-33 is your score.
The first half here at Proctor, your score. Proctor 26, Greenway 33.
So 6-point game here at half. We'll take a quick break. We'll hear from the majority of our sponsors. We'll come back. We'll talk stats. We'll get ready for second half action. We'll be back right after this.
Can't hear the TV? Need to protect your hearing? Audiology Concepts connects patients to their lives again by offering ear cleanings, providing earplugs for protection in loud environments, and helping people get hearing aids. Audiology Concepts also offer hearing evaluations, verification of hearing aids, and hearing aid repairs. There are 7 different locations across Minnesota and Wisconsin. Audiology Concepts. You'll love what you hear.
I chose Heritage Window and Door because of their reputation and because of their renewal Anderson windows that they have. And their workmanship was fantastic.
I'm so impressed.
Your home is your largest investment. Don't waste your money on cheaper windows. These are the best. It's my money, and I'm going to spend it where it's going to do me the best good, and it happened to be Heritage Window and Door.
They really know how to treat a customer.
This has been an excellent experience.
For years, Troy's Service Center has been the go-to auto repair shop in the Proctor community. Quality and efficient repairs make it more convenient to have your vehicle serviced. Troy's has always been for the community. That's why they have been favored by Proctorians alike. But don't just take our word for it. Check out the many reviews on their service. Troy's Service Center can ensure that your vehicle keeps your life driving forward for years to come. Troy's Service Center has been servicing and repairing vehicles for 3 generations. To contact Troy's Service Center, call 218-642-3322 or visit troyservice.com.
Protect your investments this winter with an enclosed trailer from Wittes Trailer Sales, located in Esco. We also sell cargo trailers, utility trailers, snowmobile trailers, and much more. Did you know we stock a full line of Heinecker snowplows? While you're here, shop the largest selection of Mahindra tractors in the area. Don't forget about our service center, ready to tackle jobs of any size. Wittes Trailer Sales in Esco, where customers become friends.
Potentials, lots of different options with the different loans that are out there. You know, what we'll do is we'll talk to you about your scenario, your situation. We'll figure out what actually works best for you. But the key is what is going to be the most cost effective. So we will compare conventional versus FHA, USDA versus, FHA, different types of things that way. Sometimes even if you're a veteran, the VA loan might not actually make the most sense, just because there are some fees associated with that loan that you might be able to do the same type of loan but do it cheaper with a different type of a program. But again, that's something that we will figure out. We'll figure out the best scenario for you. We'll give you the options, but we'll obviously lead you to the right and most cost-effective way to purchase or refinance that house.
Be held in by Ross, so he cycles it back to center. Good pressure by the Thunderhawks here out of the zone. Rails can't control. Again, still at neutral. Can't gain the zone. 30 seconds already taken off this power play. No shots yet to speak of for the Rails. Still trying to get it into the rapid zone. Rink wide pass. That's intercepted. Now here's a chance shorthanded for the Thunderhawks. Shot and another big save by Pockernich. He's made 3 big saves already this period. Confidence building saves.
Yeah, I think these guys are trying a little bit hard to, run a play to get it into the zone. And sometimes you just have to play hockey to get it down to their zone. Then you can set it up once you get down there.
Just want to welcome those who are joining us from the basketball broadcast on our split screen production here. Rails down 2-0 here in the second period. They're on the power play. A minute left in that power play. And Bryant. Rink wide pass to Ross. Ross looking. Now he's just going to swing it around. Right there's Lanthier for the Rails. Picked up by Bryant. Bryant heading to the net. Around the net. Bryant looking. And we're going to have the net off as the Thunderhawk player clipped the net as he went around.
Thinking about next week.
Yeah.
It's interesting, that they're doing a nice job once they get it in the zone, but then they kind of bog down a little bit trying to run plays. And it's good to run plays, but play a little hockey right now. They can get some shots on net.
44 seconds left in the man advantage. Here's Brecken Ross across to Tanner. Tanner back to Brecken. Brecken at the top. Here's down to Bryant. Brecken Ross shot, and that's going to be on goal.
There was some good composure right there. You get bounced around a little bit because you go after their goalie and you just stand there.
Yeah,
maybe they're going to get a penalty,
Looked like Anila maybe saw the puck laying there and took a swat at it after the whistle.
One of the beauties of a power play is you can always have 2 players on the puck. So we haven't had that all the time. So I think they're kicking into that here.
Now Tanner Ross cross to Brecken. Back to Tanner at the top. Tanner looking. Now sends it down low to Lanthier. Lanthier. Back to Tanner Ross. We had 14 seconds left in the advantage. Lanthier takes it back out to High. Ross gets intercepted by Garski. Puck loose. Here's Lanthier. Lanthier gets it knocked off his stick. Both teams now at full strength. Penalty over, and the Rails 0 for 2 on the power play here tonight.
Passing up some shots. Shots don't have to be pretty.
Ross pucking his skates. Ross to the middle. Ross shot. Another block by the Thunderhawks. Good block there.
That one hurt a little bit, too.
Yeah. Lots of block shots here tonight by the Thunderhawks. Not many getting to the net. Here's Ross down to Lanthier. Lanthier cuts to the net. Shot. And that's into the glove of Miskovich. So he'll hang on. And again, the Rails 0 for 2 on the power play here tonight.
And they got to get more shots. That's the quality shots.
You see in the NHL now a lot where one guy's carrying the puck up, draws everybody back, and then drops out to someone to go speed.
It's like a second wave.
Yeah.
And then that guy's flying up the ice.
Now puck in the corner here. Here's Densler for the Rails. Back to the point. Densler gets it back. Sends it back down low. Right there is roll off for the Thunderhawks. Puck out to center. Densler sends it right back in. And here's a turnover, and good body there on Lee. He can't get a hold of it. Now to neutral. Paulson right there. Sends it across to Davidson. And puck held in. Here's a chance for the Thunderhawks. That's Drennan. With control. Ooh, right out front. And a fan shot. Now Densler. Can't get, Giswald, excuse me. Some tired Rails on the ice. Davidson reverses back to Giswald.
This puck's got to come out.
Giswald looking
There we go.
up to Lee.
Nice patient play there.
Lee makes a move, but he's rubbed off the puck and covered up by Miskovich, and we're going to have some more extracurriculars. And no call. Hey, let him play.
Keeps talking, he's going to end up
Yeah.
on the bench or in the box.
So first line back out there for the Rails. Actually, second line. Breckenross's line out there along with Poison and Remazzini. Rajala able to get into the Rails end. Breckenross knocked off the puck, loses an edge. Rajala across. Now Carpenter swings it around the boards, out to the point. Shot blocked out front. Remazzini. Now the Thunderhawks, here's a chance, shot, and a goal for the Thunderhawks off kind of a broken play. That was number 8. Looks like it's going to be Ander Rajala. And that one was number 16, Palasek, who went to shoot. His stick got kind of knocked away, and the puck, instead of going on Pokernich, went right on the stick of Rajala, and Pokernich was expecting the shot. Wide open net.
It was a broken play. Those are fluky ones sometimes.
So 3-0 now our score here. 11:30 left here in period number 2. And we'll have an icing here on the Thunderhawks.
And back here at the rail yard, Ted Keevan along with Chad Brenna, who had to go get a hot dog. 33-26 your score. Coming out, possession arrow is going to belong to the Rails. And it'll be Nelson, Cordero, King, Loftus, and Berglund, your starting 5 from the first half. And into the hands of Nelson. Nelson not going to get up a cross half stripe. McCoy defensively. This into the hands of King. Almost lost the dribble. Now going to come around into the paint. Up off the glass. Can't get that to fall, but gets his own board. Up off the glass again. Again, can't get it to fall. Almost in that waiting hands of McGee, but off his hands and out of bounds, so going to stay with the Rails. Again, thank you to our students that we have working tonight. Nikki Olson, our director-producer, and Evan Langmo on our camera, and our technical and score widget person, Haley McDonald, all student leadership students in our program. So thank you to them for being here. I used student twice, and since I used student too many times, I got the look. Loftus now with the ball, now move to his right, nowhere to go but up and in, and I can't get it to fall, but down and with it is McGee. McGee with 3 fouls for the Raiders. Our foul that we missed earlier was on Nelson. Nelson has 2.
Oh, okay.
So Nelson with 2, Loftus with 1, Olson with 2, Boosum with 1, and King 1 on the other side with the Raiders. Simeon Wells with 1, Robert Shaw with 1. Olson with 2, McGee with 3, and Ty Wells with 1. That is where we sit with fouls across the board. Robert Shaw to inbound the ball for the Raiders. Going to give this off to Ty Wells. Ty Wells in from the corner into McGee, and Nelson going to draw his 3rd. That's going to be his.
Kind of a silly play.
A little bit. I think if I could read what Nelson would have had going on there, I think what he was trying to do was I think he thought McGee was going to stay more upright. And as McGee started to make that move, he had nowhere to go because he was falling forward in it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Robert Shaw into the corner to Wells. Wells looking for somewhere to go, but Cordero there defensively. Top of the key to Olson. Now Wells for 3 and hits it. Wells with 4 points in the first half. Now just one off of what he had with that three-pointer here in the early goings. Driving down, Nelson up off the glass for 2.
Nice.
Nelson had 4 points in the first half for the Rails.
That was close to a travel, too.
Every time that McCoy stops his dribble, and it almost looks like he stops the ball, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's going to be a travel. And it's very, very magical, if you will. I don't know what the right word I want to use is, but up over the back on McGee. Could have been called there, but no whistle. That would have given McGee his 4th. Here comes King into the paint. And he's going to draw the foul, and 1. Goop. So Gage Olsen, that's his 3rd, team's first of the second half. So him and McGee both in foul trouble, and 16 ticks left here, or 16 minutes left on the clock here.
Oh, a lot of time, lot of time.
Loftus down with it, and
that
King.
could have been a foul too.
Yeah, they're going to say he got ball, but it's going to stay with Proctor. So Nelson going to inbound it. Timeout going to be taken by the Rails. So let's talk a little bit about what we got coming up, because we got a busy week this week. Rails TV busy week this week, busy week next week. On Thursday, you and I will be live back here again when the boys team will take on Mesabi East. Boys hockey will also be playing across the way. Who do they have? I know who they have. Don't tell me. It's not on there. I know you're looking at the sheet for me to try to tell me, but this is all next week's schedule. Oh, goodness. Oh, it'll come to me.
Denfeld.
No.
East.
No, it's not local. It'll come to me. But next week, we got a super busy schedule. Not only do we have a doubleheader on Monday with school board and high school choir for the winter concert, Tuesday we'll have boys hockey versus Cloquet and the JMS concert here for the middle school for choir. Then on Thursday, we have wrestling over at the indoor turf versus Aiken, and boys basketball right here versus Grand Rapids.
That'll be a good game.
So we have 5 days out of 10 double headers on all those days. And we're back into it. The Rails can't get the ball to fall, but McGee down with another board. It's hard to get that board over him. 6-point lead here for the Raiders on a game that honestly could go any direction. Down inside of McGee. McGee looking to go somewhere now. Now spins toward the baseline. Gave up that dribble. Had nowhere to go. Olsen back to Robert Shaw. Robert Shaw down low. This is Ty Wells. Ty Wells can't get it to go. And they're going to call a kick. And they're going to say white ball. Not 100% sure on that, but as you and I have always said a million times, it's easy to officiate from up here.
Real easy to officiate from up here.
And
We're at a completely different angle than the officials are. I can't believe that defensively we just allowed that to happen right there.
So Olsen for 2. They're his first 2 of the half. Olsen led his team in the first half with 20 points. Cordero for 3. Can't get it as it goes off the iron. And here comes McGee. McGee going to run the floor for one of the first times tonight. Goes into the paint. Can't get that to fall, but down there waiting for it was McCoy. And Olsen for 2. So right as I say, he hasn't had much here. He goes off and gets points. King with a hard 2 points there. So King now on the...
That was a very nice take.
Tripled up his first half points, and the Rails down by 8 here. Olsen looking for somewhere to go. Rails kind of stepping up and giving away that inside paint as they try to keep Olsen from shooting. Robert Shaw was going to take the shot, now gives it off to McGee. McGee looking down low to Robert Shaw.
Watch the skip.
Far side to McCoy. McCoy for 3. Can't get it to fall. Right there is Cordero, and it will be his board. Cordero going to give it off to Nelson and come up across half court, and Nelson looking for somewhere to go. Gives it to Bergen. Bergen for 3.
There it is. Nope.
Can't get that to fall, and down with the board is going to be McCoy for the Raiders. McCoy.
That's a travel.
Yeah.
Or carry, call it whatever you want.
Carry, travel, whatever you're going to call it. It was something. Leonsel back in for the Rails, as well as Boosum. Nelson drives, now stops, now just keeps going into the paint, up, off the glass, can't get the ball, gets his own board, nice putback by Nelson. So,
don't give up until it's done.
100%. But again, that's what we talked a little bit about in the beginning, right? That, you know, it's something that we're not used to seeing is that team follow.
Oof.
And some point, we're going to have to close out on that and actually play a little bit tighter. And I know that takes it away from defensively from McGee and protecting the paint and stuff. But at some point,
But
you got
McGee has been in the paint once. When you watch him on the offensive side of the floor, he's out.
Yeah, but
by the free throw line, he wants a dunk. He's not going to post up. So I mean, I'd box in one, Olsen.
Yeah, somebody's got to push out on Olsen. A change has to be made there into the corner for Olsen.
If you prevent him from getting the ball, that's going to force the other four to beat you.
And Cam did a nice job there. Got in his face right as he was shooting. So nice job there by Cam. Nelson with the spin, can't get it to go, as right there was McGee. That's a lot to look over when you're Nelson.
That's a travel.
Nelson can't get it to fall. Push going to be called on. That's going to go against Ty Wells. That'll be his second, team second. And coming back into the game is Simeon Wells, as Robert Shaw will take a seat. King will take a seat, and Jack Olson will come back for the Rails. So Leonzo, Olson, Loftus, Boosum, and Nelson on the floor for the Rails. And Olson, Wells, McCoy, and McGee on the floor for the Raiders. And a three-point play there for
Bingo.
Loftus. So Loftus trying to cut it down. 6-point lead here for the Raiders. Olson goes in, and looking for the dunk was McGee, but had to turn it into a 2-point. A nice steal here by the Raiders. Looking for somebody to down into the corner. McCoy drives into the paint. Twist, turn, nothing doing. And could have been a foul there on Wells. And timeout going to be taken by the Rails. As Coach says, can't take them with you. Let's talk a little bit about our sponsors. I want to thank the Reed Foundation, the Rails Endowment for Academic Art and Athletic Development, Irving Community Club Polling for Kids, Tamarack Building Supplies up on Highway 53 in Hermantown, Heritage Window Door, Superior, Wisconsin, Woodis Trailer Sales at Esco, Stream Dudes for all your streaming needs, streamdudes.com, Great Lakes Office Solutions, the Rob and Barb Scheller Charitable Foundation, Troy Service Center, Main Street, Proctor, Audiology Concepts with 6 locations, Duluth, Grand Rapids, Forest Lake, Cambridge, Edina, and Burnsville. And our in-game sponsor, Proctor Pizza and Sub Shop, Main Street, Proctor. Stick with us at the end of the game. We'll catch a couple of our sponsors. We'll come back, have our 3 stars and our Proctor Pizza player of the game. That player that's named will get a free 12-inch pizza with a single topping of their choice, courtesy of our in-game sponsor, Proctor Pizza and Sub Shop. So thank you to them. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to all of you for checking in and hanging out with us tonight here and listening to Chad and I babble about basketball and everything else.
I think it's more complain.
Well, I haven't complained once. I've asked a couple of questions.
Well, I've complained.
Questioning's not complaining. Looks like the Rails just might have scored to cut it to 3-1 over at the Aspira St. Luke's Center. Hey, Nikki, did the Rails just score and make it 3-1? Is that what I'm seeing?
Hockey-wise?
Hockey-wise, is it 3-1 on the scoreboard on hockey? 3-2, so the Rails fighting back after a 2-0 first period. Nice job for them. Loftus turns, big foul going to be called on Simeon Wells. That'll be his second, team's third.
Foul goes to number 0, Simeon Wells. Second foul of the game, third team foul.
And Loftus will go to the line and shoot two big free throws that the team needs here.
Yes.
No pressure. Loftus seeming like he's getting back into a swing. So Loftus to finish it up here on the shooting on the foul and hits them both.
He's pretty much money when it comes to free throw shooting. I didn't want to say that before he shot his last one, though.
Well, he wasn't in the first half, so that's why I'm saying it looks like he's dialed in.
Yeah.
Good hand there by Loftus. Loftus moving left to right. Loftus not seeing much of a bench at all. And a good board there by Loftus after getting those 2 important points. Now that here comes Boosum and the rails. He's looking for somewhere, drives into the paint, up off the glass, can't get it to fall. Into the hands, the waiting hands of Christie. And here come the Raiders on the way back down. Olsen for 3. And he hits it. Kid can't miss.
3 points, Greenway.
So it's 30, it's a 15-point swing. Foul going to be called on Olsen. That's going to be his 4th, Coach.
Well, put the ball on the floor and go after him. Get the 5, because then he ain't shooting, right?
In for Greenway, number 10, Colin Robershaw. Number 21, Steve McGee.
So Olsen having a conversation, asking the official what he did wrong there, not agreeing with it.
Well, you had your hand on his back, you were reaching around, and you swatted him on the arm. That's what happened.
Right. Loftus with the ball now, going to drive inside. Not sure what was going there, but there was not a green jersey for it.
I think he thought Cam was going.
And this one into the hands of McGee. McGee misses and will go to line and shoot 3 as Cam got a piece of him.
Not a good foul.
Personal foul number 22, Cam Leonzo.
So Leonzo gets a foul. That's his first, team's 2nd. And McGee will go to the line shooting 3 as the Rails down here 9. And still at 9. Jim kind of quiet here, Coach.
It is kind of quiet.
And McGee hits the 2nd.
Subbing in for the Rails, number 11,
John Cordero and Aho Gavin are in as Cam and Jack Olsen will take a seat. What's he wearing there for shoes is McGee?
Nikes.
And he hit the 2nd.
They look like they're probably KDs.
So McGee, 2 of 3 from the line on the night. Nelson inside. Cordero pushes off to Aho. Aho moving right side. And getting a hand of that was Robert Shaw. Here comes Boosum after he goes and gets it. And he's going to draw that foul. I think that's going to go against Wells.
You're reaching.
Nope,
That's
it's going to
what
go
they're
against.
calling you on.
They're going against McCoy. That's his first, team 5th.
non-shooting foul. Nelson.
But when you reach in, they call that.
Right.
It's the same thing on the rail side too. When you reach in and you look at the official, like, are you serious? You called a foul there?
Almost trouble there. Now Nelson gets the floater, can't get it to fall into the waiting hands. And they're going to say Robert Shaw touched the floor as he was trying to get another hand on it to push it back into McGee, so to stay with the green. And Cordero inbounds it to Boosum. Boosum gets it top of the key, pushes in the corner for Cordero. Little body bump there by Christie. Now this is Nelson looking for somewhere to go 0 versus 0. Can't get that to fall. And Cordero lucky he didn't get a foul call on that as McGee had the ball. Far left side. This is Wells. And travel going to be called as he lifts that pivot foot. And it'll go the other way. And that's probably one of the first fouls that have been called in about the last 6-8 minutes or one of the turnovers that have been called where the player didn't look at the official like, huh? Right there, Simeon Wells dropped his head and went, yeah, I know. Nelson now moves left side, gives it back off to Cordero. Cordero going to drop into the paint and had to let it go. It would have been a travel either way if he hung on to it.
Well, he spun a little too quick for his balancer, eh?
So we're wondering what's up with the floor tonight? They did a good clean, a good wash, so why is everybody going down as easy it is? And almost a travel there by McCoy. Good steal by Loftus and Nelson there. And off the glass for Cordero.
I think that was a very good business decision on Wells' part is to not step in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't have stepped in there. So good combination there by Nelson and Loftus. McCoy pushes it outside. Christie looking for somewhere to go. Now back to McCoy into the corner. McGee going to drive the paint. And going to get dunked on was Boosum.
2 points.
Not the right
and then
matchup.
the flex on him?
Yeah. But at the same time, not the right matchup.
No, not the right matchup, but the kid's 5'5", and you're going to flex on him?
Yeah. That'd be like me dunking on you.
Yeah.
It'll never happen, but.
Right, no,
right.
but yeah.
So, yeah,
You're a foot and a half taller.
Yeah, that is true. Why don't you throw that hockey game up there? Let them check that out for a minute. Just switch it. You don't have to do audio. Just switch it over. Let them see it a little bit. So it's fine. Just, giving them another option to look at as we add stuff to our broadcast, and thank for our students that we have that are able to give us some good views and be able to do something like this. So again, doubleheader tonight, doubleheader on Thursday, yeah, it's going to be a busy week.
It's Breck, St. Thomas Academy, Sauk Rapids that they play on Thursday. Boosman inbounds the ball to Nelson.
Yeah, absolutely. Cordero going to back him up.
Oh, he should have ripped that around.
Aho going to draw the foul, and that is going to go on Robert Shaw. That'll be his second, team 6.
Hey, Ted, just an announcement to all of the players currently playing in this basketball game tonight. They are going to call that every single time you do it.
Why is that?
Because they've been doing it all night.
But why is that?
Because it's a foul.
Oh, but why is that?
Because it's against the rules.
Oh, I should have known this, by the way. And Loftus can't get that one to fall. I should have known this. Hockey plays Greenway on Thursday.
I wasn't even close. I went south.
Yes, you did. And a big shout out to Dallas's mom down in Florida. I'm sorry you couldn't get back up here to hang out and say hi, but we're holding the fort down, and hopefully we can get somewhere close here and pull out a victory. Boosum tried to overrun him and couldn't get there, and luckily not called for a foul. Inside into the waiting hands of, Cordero. Let's just go that route. Nelson moves left, now going to come inside to Loftus. Loftus turns.
Nice move.
Nice little move for a 2. And that's like a good bok chow, right? You just get it. You just go to work on it. Just, you sit there, nom, 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 bok chow, right?
Like that first piece of corn on the cob of the summer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to go up and over.
He's like, yeah.
So Cordero's going to come out of the game, Boosum out of the game. Aho in, King in, Loftus still in. I totally forgot about it. Oh, nice. That's very cool.
And Nikki, that's why you're the technical director.
No, she's saying that they're showing that at the game.
Oh.
Right now.
Well, I thought you meant that she flipped it like that.
No, she is that technical, but that's not what she did.
Travel.
No call there, so Simeon Wells for 2. So 11-point game here. And Rails got to get something defensively going. Aho, the ball turns inside into the paint. Little floater, can't get that to fall. Chasing it was King, can't get that to fall. And that's going to go off on the line. And that's going to stay green ball as it goes out of bounds off the hands of Wells.
Berge needs to get hot here. He's had a pretty quiet night offensively.
Got to get it in. And Olsen with the steal on the inbound pass. And back is Nelson. Nelson puts it up and can't get that to fall. Nice way to go up over Simeon Wells and go get that. And now another scrum, and out of it is Robert Shaw.
Wyatt Nelson, folks.
He got up. And Aho down with the board.
Whack it the first time, he got it the second time.
Loftus almost had that taken by Robert Shaw. Gives it off to Berglund. Berglund looking for somewhere to go. Now gives it to Nelson. Nelson driving inside of the paint. Tries a little floater. Can't get that to fall. Down with it is McGee. McGee's going to give it off to Simeon Wells. Left side looking for somewhere to go. Puts it into the corner for Robert Shaw for three. And can't get that to fall. Waiting, there's 3 green jerseys. And coming back the other way is Nelson. Nelson going to stop near the brick. Push it outside to Berglund. Berglund for 3. And that's short into the waiting hands of Olsen. Or was that a pass again?
No, that wasn't a pass. He's just having an off night shooting
the ball. He is,
ball.
absolutely. It's going to happen.
Oh, it is. I mean, but we need him to get high. Remember that one game last year? It went like 14 overtimes?
Yep. We don't need that. Robert Shaw again into the waiting hands of Nelson. Nelson going to go around as he tries to steal is Robert Shaw. Up off the glass is Nelson. Nelson says, let me do this.
Yep.
So 9-point game here now for, and timeout gonna be taken by Greenway. So 54-45, 5:44 left here at the rail yard. And it is exactly what we said it would be. It would be a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some folks, again, had the idea that it would be a runaway because of McGee and a couple of the other players in Ty Wells and also in Mackay McCoy who don't – I'm not taking anything away from them. They're good players.
Oh, absolutely.
But these are 2 evenly matched teams.
But, I mean, you know, sitting here watching warm-ups, it's like, all right, we got a guy at 6'11". He's going to score 40 points tonight because you're just going to lob it into him from the block. He's going to drop, step, and dunk. He's got, what, 8, 10 points?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. No, McGee's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15.
Okay. Not a bad night.
Not a bad night.
But way less than we thought we would see out of him, you know.
But Olsen's got 30.
Yeah, there's your problem.
Yeah. and out of
he's
those.
He's also got 4 fouls.
1, 2,
I don't know why.
3, 4, 5. Out of those 30 points, 18 of them are coming from the 3-point range.
He's also got 4 fouls. I don't know why we haven't segregated whoever he's playing defense on and attacked the basket and going after that 5th.
Well, now he is the only one on the floor. McGee is taking a seat, and so is Ty Wells. So you've got McCoy, you got Simeon Wells, and you got number 12 Jax Bildo, and also Olsen, and who am I missing? Oh, and Christie on the floor for the Raiders. And coming back into the game is Ty Wells. Bildo will take a seat. And on the floor for the Rails, you're going to have King, Loftus, Olsen, Berglund, and foul going to be called against Christie and Nelson.
Personal foul number 42.
My public service announcement didn't get heard, did it?
No. So I just keep marking. Yeah.
All right, we'll take those.
What are we having?
Loftus.
For 2?
2.
Nice.
We need to make our free throws the rest of the game.
I'm trying to teach on both sides. So those he hit both free throws there?
He hit both of them.
All right. Wells nowhere to go. McCoy takes the step, now gives the dribble. Nowhere to go with it, gives it off to Christie. Into the corner for Ty Wells. Ty Wells takes a step towards the baseline, now comes back into the paint. This is Simeon Wells, can't get it to fall, and here come the Rails. King pushes it to Olsen. Olsen for 3, bingo. Nice. So Olsen's first points of the game, and those are 3 big points as that takes it to a 4-point lead for the Raiders here with 4:40 left in the second half. Good defense by Nelson. Olsen nowhere to go. Now going to step up as well.
He's pushing off.
Olsen.
Travel
and a shot put.
There we go. Let's
and
dial it up,
Coach is now going to start to pressure up some defense. And looks like Coach is going to try to put a little full court press on and to try to basically tell the Raiders that if you want to get it, you got to go take it.
That's right. At this point, it's let her rip, Tater Chip. Let's go.
Let her rip, Tater Chip. I love tater chips.
Especially with a little top to tater.
Oh, yeah. Woo. Minnesota crack.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's even better than regular chips?
Doritos.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. High-fiving on that. Then we got that brain going along. Hey,
remember back in the day, you'd go to 7-Eleven, get a bag of Doritos, a thing of top to tater, a jug of Mountain Dew.
Let's go.
And sit down in front of the old Atari or the old Super NES and get after it.
The Atari 2600. Do you know I still have my Atari 2600?
As do I.
I still have my original Nintendo. I still have all my PlayStations. And I just sold my Apple IIe. I had the full set. I had the dot matrix printer. I had math munchers, everything. The rack that came with it at the schools.
Yep.
Olsen can't get that one to fall, and that's going to go out of bounds. And it's going to go the way of the Rails. I'm going to say it went after Olsen.
You feel the shift in Mo here?
I'm hoping.
We need a bucket here.
Nelson moves left, moves right. Now top of the key, gives up the dribble down to King. King on the left-hand side drives towards the paint, and here comes Loftus. He's going to get help from King. King now takes it out of the paint, up off the glass, and that's going to go off of McGee as they were trying to move McGee out and let King get that roll, since King is McGee is really trying to stay near Loftus.
Which he should. Up. There you go.
Can't get that to fall off the board, and it comes down with it is McGee. Why do we have two pictures there, though?
That's 5. He's gone.
Body, that's 4.
That's 5.
No, that should be his 4th.
No, he had 4.
I thought that was his 5th or 4th.
I thought that was his 5th.
I could be wrong because Boosom's getting ready to come. That's is 5.
5th.
Yep.
Well, that eases the scoring pressure on Proctor right now. Crummy way to foul out, but.
All right. Loftus for 3.
Bingo!
And then there was 1.
That's a big bingo.
So Loftus with a big 3.
Now we got a drag race.
And that's a big turnover as
under
Bosom
control,
reaches.
under control.
Nelson's going to get robbed right there as he had 2 players and nobody verbally helping him. This is now comes about communication, right?
Yep.
You got to be able to have that communication. Bosom tight there on Simeon Wells. Wells now moves into the paint, push it. Oh, nowhere to go. Now gives it off. Robert Shaw for 3. Can't get that to fall. 3. Loftus down with it. I was going to say 3 green jerseys, but Loftus down with it. Here comes Bosom. Now, Coach is going to have him slow it down. 1-point game. 2:45 left here at the rail yard. We have a barn burner here. This is going to be given to King. King looking for help. Gave up his dribble. Now down to Nelson. 4. Can't get that to fall.
But look at the hustle. He was in there fighting for the rebound.
Yeah, and they're saying it's going to go the other way.
I think Greenway wanted a foul called on Nelson there.
Oh, I see what I did wrong there. Yeah. Our Nelson has, Greg Olsen has 5.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I was right on my 4. I was just thinking wrong player.
Great defense there by Bosom.
McGee now pushes it over to Wells. Ty Wells going to come around top of the key, going to give this off to McCoy. McCoy drives in the paint, takes 2 steps, can't get it to fall, but McGee right there for the board and puts it back. It's a 3-point game. Nelson now going to bring it up. Coach looking for the push and not getting any of that call, says the official. King, Loftus now going to take the step, goes inside, up off the glass, nothing there, and for 2, and it's back to 1. Timeout going to be taken. Woo. Ooh, good Molly. So Loftus, who had 6 in the first half, now has 14 in the second half.
To go with the 6?
To go with the 6.
I need another 10 out of them in the next minute.
Next minute and a half. So 56-55, your score here. And, man, we are just rocking and rolling, getting ready to go. And the thing that I love about this, win, lose, or draw, we're seeing something from a Proctor basketball team as a whole, not pieces like we've seen in the past. As a whole, we're seeing grit.
Absolutely.
We're seeing that lunchbox piece we always talk about.
Yep.
And it's super cool to see that because you're seeing it not from 1 or 2 players on the floor, but from all 5 plus the bench.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's super cool to watch that happen. And
Tyler Bergman's having an off night shooting. Somebody else has got to pick up the slack, and that's exactly what they've done. Defensively in the last 2 minutes, it's been incredible to watch. Just even Boosum, he's like a glove on Wells when he's got the ball.
So timeout was taken by the
Raiders.
By the Raiders, my bad, sorry. And the possession arrow belongs to the Raiders as well. So a little forecourt press here by the Rails. Good job by, Boosum.
That's all right, we got fouls to give. That's a good foul.
But from here, it looked like it was he got all ball on the push.
Yeah, Coach Lipinski wasn't upset about it though, and he would have been.
Simeon Wells goes up and around, almost loses the dribble, now into the corner. That's Thiessen. And a foul by King. Cooper King, that'll be his second, team's 4th. And Thiessen seeing his first action of the evening.
Second foul in the game. 4th team foul in the half by Proctor.
Thiessen will take a seat, and McCoy will come back in. McCoy took a seat as it looked like he was something ankle, something knee, not sure. Foul going to be called on Ty Wells. That'll be his 3rd. Team's 8th. And that is a 1-and-1 down on the other end. And going to shoot is going to be Ty Berglund.
I would agree with the Greenway coach. That one was probably a little weak. But now I suppose they're going to tighten it up for the last $1.15.
Well, I think you got to. Otherwise, I think especially
we don't want to
McGee and others, right? Exactly. We just when I say McGee and others, I mean McGee, Loftus, King, everybody. We don't want to see anybody take a stupid foul and have a stupid injury happen on the second game for us, first game of the season for them. That would just be a dumb place to have it happen here in this early of the season.
Travel.
Simeon Wells gives that off to Robert Shaw. Robert Shaw for 3. Can't get that to fall. Down with it is King. 1-point game here. Clock under a minute. Nelson going to bring it up for the Rails. Got to have patience. Got to use the clock. Timeout going to be taken by the Rails.
This is a nail biter. This is awesome.
Wow. This is kind of basketball we like to watch.
This is like the, was that 4 overtimes? Is that what it was, that game we had last year?
It was like 4 or 5, yeah.
When you said, we're down by 6, we're not going to do this, and then Bergman Dragons too. Yeah, Berglund. Good times, Ted. Good times.
Good times, great oldies.
Yeah. That was the shortest post game we ever had too, because we both had to use a restroom.
Oh, and honestly, I don't even think it was the restroom that night. It was that I just wanted to go home.
It was the stress from the game.
Yeah, it would have been a long day. So coming into the 3rd period.
That was Greenway too, wasn't it?
I think it was actually. Coming into this 3rd period for the Rails versus the Thunderhawks of Grand Rapids, 4-2 game. Thunderhawks lead, and the Rails will have a power play for about 50 seconds to start the 3rd period over at the Aspire St. Luke Sports and Event Center. Want to thank everybody who's working over there: Ray Pazak, Spencer Maida, Zach Edelstead. Who else do we have over there? Tanner Hargraves.
Look at Berglund.
Griffin Leonard, and Mr. Roweeder, and also Mr. Gilderman. Go ahead. Big shot for Berglund. Can't get it to fall, but right there is Cam.
Yes!
And one. Cam draws the foul on the easy putback after the miss of Berglund.
And he stepped on his glasses.
So Simeon Wells will be the foul. That'll be his 3rd, team's 9th. seems 10th. Boosum into the game now for the Rails as Berglund will come out and take a seat. A 1-point lead here for the Rails. Cam trying to make it a 2-point lead. He'll take a breath. He's at the line. Little rock and roll going from the Raiders bench. Good box out by the Rails, and there's the point to make it a 2-point game. So Cam with the much-needed bucket.
That's the biggest free
play
throw
the
of
old-fashioned way.
to this far. That was huge, man.
So Cam, big shot there. Jackson Olsen in the game for the Rails.
All right, let's D it up.
And 41 seconds here on the clock. 2-point game. What do the Raiders going to take a timeout? And you know what? We're going to take a quick timeout as well here from a sponsor or two. We'll be back right after this.
Okay.
For years, Troy's Service Center has been the go-to auto repair shop in the Proctor community. Quality and efficient repairs make it more convenient to have your vehicle serviced. Troy's has always been for the community. That's why they have been favored by Proctorians alike. But don't just take our word for it. Check out the many reviews on their service. Troy's Service Center can ensure that your vehicle keeps your life driving forward for years to come. Troy's Service Center has been servicing and repairing vehicles for 3 generations. To contact Troy's Service Center, call 218-642-3322 or visit troyservice.com.
And back here at the rail yard, your score 58-56. The Rails with the lead here. 33 ticks left on the clock. And a timeout was taken by the Raiders as the ball came up after over half court. The only player fouled out at this time was Gage Olsen, who was the big shooter for the Raiders tonight. He ended the night with 26, 27, 28, 29. Ended the night with 30 of the 56 points that the Raiders have on the board.
Not a bad night. 30 points, 5 fouls. I'd take it.
I'll take that all day long, and the boards that he had as well.
Yeah.
So good job by Gage. Again, stay with us at the end of the game. We'll hear from a couple of our sponsors. We'll come back with our players of the game.
What do you think Greenway is going to do here since we're doubling McKee?
I think they're going to try to get it into McCoy and let McCoy hit a 3. Going to give it off. McCoy going to come around top side. Oh, and he slides, goes down. Nelson with the ball. And up into the glass for 2 is Nelson. So 4 points, 20 ticks, and here come the Raiders.
No foul. Why swat at that?
And
don't let him cut into the lead from the free throw line.
Robert Shaw going to go to the line and shoot 2. And that's going to go on King. That'll be his 3rd, team's 5th. So Robert Shaw, who the Rails do not need to get hot here. And he hits the first.
We don't need to shoot.
No, we
just get it across half court.
Get it across half court and let them foul if need to. Olsen, Boosum out of the game. Berglund and Cam back into the game for the Rails. And Robert Shaw to attempt the second. That lane violation on the Raiders. So we are in a 3-point game issue here, and the timeout going to be taken as Coach Lipinski saw that stat going on and saw that pressure that was going to come. And Raiders are going to do everything they can to make sure that that ball does not get across half court.
Yeah, but McKee is with Loftus, so you send him down the floor.
Yeah, and draw that down.
Yep.
And they're going to have to keep him honest.
I hope he draws up what I think he's going to draw up.
I don't know what you're hoping he's going to draw up.
Well, if we're inbounding on this side, you have somebody drop out of bounds on the other side, you kick it to them, jump in bounds, run over and get the ball. You can do that.
Is he drawing that up?
I can't see Loftus's head's in the way.
Should we get a camera in there?
We need a coach cam.
That'd be cool. No audio.
No audio, though.
No audio.
That's almost as bad as having audio on me.
Yeah, I tried that once. It went okay.
A coach cam?
No, remember the one time with the girls I had a mic on you?
Oh, yeah, that was a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a bad idea because you did well.
It was a good idea.
You wanted it off you like you had like bees stinging you.
That's because I had bad words that needed to come out.
Ah, yes.
Oh, now they're going to put McKee on the ball. Then now that's exactly what you do.
So McGee on the going to be there, and so same 5 as before. And for the Raiders, McGee, Wells, McCoy, and Robert Shaw. And big
that was an aggressive
there
foul
by McCoy on
Loftus.
And Loftus is going to go to the line.
Personal foul number 1, Kai McCoy.
That'll be his first. It's more than the 10th team foul. But we'll let him run with it. He's from South Carolina. So Loftus to shoot. Hits the first.
If he puts this one in, it's done.
So Nelson, Boosum, Olsen, Loftus, and King on the floor for the Rails. 61-57, the Rails. Their first lead of the night is here in the end of the half. And
no
Loftus,
foul, no foul, no foul.
So 12 ticks on the clock.
No foul, no foul, no foul.
5-point game. Simeon Wells can't get that to
It's
fall.
over.
Down with it is King on the board, and that is going to do it. That is going to be your final. The Rails go to 2-0 on the season, and the Raiders go to 0-1. 62-57 your final. We're going to take a break here from a couple of our sponsors. We'll come back with our players of the game and our Proctor Pizza player of the game. We'll be back right after this.
Can't hear the TV? Need to protect your hearing? Audiology Concepts connects patients to their lives again by offering ear cleanings, providing earplugs for protection in loud environments, and helping people get hearing aids. Audiology Concepts also offer hearing evaluations, verification of hearing aids, and hearing aid repairs. There are 7 different locations across Minnesota and Wisconsin. Audiology Concepts, you'll love what you hear.
Proctor's Reed Foundation was established to enable life-enriching academic, art, and athletic activities which cannot rely on traditional funding in the Proctor School District communities. Reed has provided grants for the Imagination Library, numerous sports teams, Rails TV, A Night to Shine, the Playground for Everybody, and most recently, Reed helped the Proctor Fire Department invest in life-saving handheld thermal devices. Visit rea3d.org to learn more about how you can support Reed and help your community.
And back here at the Royal Yard, Ted Keep It along with Coach Chad Brenna. Your final score, 62-57 in what I want to call a nail-biter.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was a great basketball game, a very hard-fought game by both teams.
And that's what we get every time we see a Greenway, a Mesabi East. Well, not so much with Rockridge now that they're a bigger school, but
MIB.
Yeah, MIB.
You know,
it's range schools. They're gritty. They're lunchbox guys. It's just go, 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 go. And we got that out of everybody that was on the rail side tonight, you know. Tyler Berglund, off night shooting-wise, but that's okay, you know. Everybody else stepped up, picked it up. He contributed defensively. He made some good passes offensively. He just wasn't getting the rock to fall for him, so it happens.
Yeah, and you know, I just want to go back to, you know, we've got a bunch of games. We got, you know, tonight. We got Thursday. We got next Thursday for boys basketball, and getting these, you know, I hate to say out of the way, but it's one of those things where I'm just excited to see what this team can do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But we're not, you know, it's amazing to see it working instead of being, you know, 2 or 3 on that team. You know, like you said earlier, it's not just the 5, it's the 8 that come in behind them.
Yeah.
And every one of them are just playing the game like nobody's business.
You know, absolutely. And, you know, kudos to Coach Lipinski, you know, for keep moving the bar up.
100%.
You know, a different team than we seen at the start of the season last year for the Rails. Different team that we seen at the end of the regular season last year. You know,
Yeah.
It's evolving. You know, it's evolving. The guys are buying into the program, that they're getting it, and it's starting to show. You know, they didn't give up. Everybody played hard. You know, even being down by 10, 11 points, what it was with 5-6 minutes to go, boom. All right, guys, we got this. Let's go.
Well, I mean, that was a big step where where Nelson came through on that right-hand side with about 6 minutes left, down 11, and he didn't get the first one to fall. Got beat up by McGee underneath, but still came out with the board and was able to get the putback.
Absolutely.
And that's that piece that kind of started that run to get to bite into that 11 points and get them back to where they needed to be to finally take that lead and get Loftus active. And I mean, Loftus had a great second half, kind of quiet, trying to fill out McGee. But that could be also because McGee had to play softer. I mean, he had 4 fouls, for that last 4 or 5 minutes. Olsen's already on the bench, and you take McGee off the floor and you take that height away, and now it's a totally different game.
Oh, completely different game once Olsen fouled out.
Yeah. So I mean, and then when you have excuse me, you have McGee foul out if he would have, and now it's an even worse, different game for you.
Absolutely, but kudos to Greenway. They didn't give up either. They, they stuck it right through to the end. They played hard right to the final horn.
Absolutely. So let's get to our what? I got students looking at me like we should be. That's what she does. It's all right. They're staring at me and laughing. It's what they do. Let's get with our 3 stars of the game. I think we both agree that the number 3 star, not only did he play good defense, was a hustler on the floor, but led both teams with 30 points. And I'm going to go with Gage Olson from the Raiders.
I completely agree. I mean, I think he caught the Rails off guard a little bit too, to start the game. He had the hot hand. He played hard. Unfortunately, he used up his 5 before he wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, I mean, he played a heck of a game tonight, and he deserves to be 3rd star of the game. And if he wouldn't have fouled out, it could have been higher.
Agreed. He just came out. He played, and and everybody was worried about McGee, which they should be. He's 6'10". I mean, that's just a body and a force that you have to deal with. But on the other side of that, when you look at someone like a Gage Olson, who has the game that he has as a leader on the floor, and can do his thing, and a senior, and he drops 30. So,
well, this Greenway team could do a lot of damage, during the season to teams, as far as physically beating them up and outrunning them. I mean, that team is going to be probably a nightmare to have to play in the playoffs.
Game 1.
That was game 1.
That was 1 for them.
Right. Wait till McGee's in, complete game shape in February,
Well, think about what I talked about in that first half. It looked like McGee had, he was getting tired there towards that latter half of the first half. And
well, but wouldn't you if you had, Proctor all over you?
Well, 100%. But I'm just saying, but wait until he's 5-6 games in.
Oh, yeah.
And he's now doesn't have that tiredness because he's got that floor running instead of just that practice running.
Absolutely.
Our number 2 star going to go to the way of the Rails. We talk only 12 points, but just a few minutes ago we talked about how I felt it was that play that he made at about the 6 minute mark of that second half.
That shifted the momentum.
And that was Wyatt Nelson. I mean,
Wyatt Earp Nelson. He is Wyatt Earp going forward.
I mean, just a great job, a great motor. And trying to get up. My biggest one out of tonight's game will be in that first half where he tried to go up and over McGee for a shot.
Fearless.
And just fearless. I mean that's a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he had control of the game on the rail side the entire game. He was in charge. He directed traffic. He earned it, and he's got good flow.
Absolutely.
I wish I had hair. I'd have flow like that.
You ain't got no hair. Anyways, and then our number 1 star of the game and our Proctor Pizza player of the game, the junior with 22 points, just adding to his total. 50, probably 55, 57 points on the season in 2 games already is the junior number 2, Dallas Loftus.
Yeah, my guy. He's my guy.
He's my
guy. Defensively in the first half, I thought he did a great job on McGee. Great job defensively on him. He was kind of quiet in the first half, and in the second half when the Rails needed somebody to step it up and put the team on their back, he did. He did. Between him and, Wyatt Earp, they did a great job. They picked up the slack, where where Tyler would have been in there, hitting wide open threes, and he handled business.
Yeah, it's a different game, and I don't want to sit here all night and make people listen to us, but it's one of those things where you talk about. You talked earlier about it's just a difference in this team, and you're seeing that. You keep talking about Tyler and his off game, and that's okay because we've seen so many games over the last couple of years where Tyler did not have an off game, and it was because of Tyler that we were in it. But it's nice to see that Tyler.
He doesn't have to bear the brunt of the
he has
pressure.
some help.
Absolutely,
and it's not just from one or two people.
Right. And, like the game that we did last year that was 4 or 5 overtimes, I believe it was Greenway.
I want to say you're right.
And
yeah.
he didn't start clicking on all cylinders till about 3 minutes left in the second half, and then in overtime he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, he touched the ball. It didn't matter where he was. It was going up and it was going in.
But now he can just be a supportive captain and play his role and not have to put the world on his shoulders.
Right, so when he's stroking the ball well, give him the ball. When he's not, just have him, run through the offense and handle business.
Absolutely. Well, those are your 3 stars of the game. You got Gage Olson on the Raider side at number 3. You got our one and only Wyatt Nelson on our side at number 2, and the tall, the lanky, and the one Loftus, the junior here for the Rails.
My guy.
And he's going to get a 12-inch pizza, 1-topping pizza, courtesy of Proctor Pizza and Sub Shop.
I might have to double protein for him. He needs to put on a little weight.
He does need to get to the gym, do a little thing, and I'm sure his mom is listening, and his dad will listen to this later. Who, Bam and I, good friends. Glad to see him tonight. Haven't seen him in a really long time, but he was in the gym, so that was super cool to see him and get a chance to catch up a little bit. Great game by the Rails. Again, thank you to our students. Thank you to Nikki Olson, our director-producer. Thank you to Evan Langmo, our camera director, and also to our tech guru and score widget extraordinaire, the one, the only, Haley McDonald. She thought I forgot her name, but I was just making her. See the suspense I built there? It was just a suspenseful build. I was going to go the other way, like this computer in the school still says, but I figured you'd hit me, so I'd just let that go. But on behalf of myself, Coach, thank you for being here tonight.
Absolutely. Looking forward to Thursday.
Tomorrow night, Golf League, so that'll be awesome. And not for you, because you got to work.
I got a racetrack board meeting, too.
There you go. Well, we'll be back on air on Thursday. Again, doubleheader coming from the Aspire St. Luke Sports and Event Center and here at the Rail Yard. Boys basketball will be taking on the likes of
the Giants from
Masabi East. And Greenway will come calling for the Rails and hockey. Until then, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.
We're at a crossroads. From time to time, a section of rail needs repair. But that doesn't mean the whole line needs replacement. The same way being proud of your history doesn't mean you're stuck in the past. No, we're not stuck. We hear the whistle blowing and we're inspired. Inspired by the legacy of the people who transformed this terrain into a rail yard that supplied America with the ore needed to win world wars. We're inspired by our unshakable identity, hanging tight, like David facing down Goliaths, and we're moved by stories of our community's kindness. No matter who needs help, neighbors pitch in and get the job done. Hushed and humbled are more at play than pontification, but don't for 1 second think that means Proctor is a simple small town. It was built as a company town, and it continues down the tracks of time. And this rail revival is our destination.